Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday afternoon. I hope we're all okay. Hope we're all right. Hope the day is treating us all as well as it possibly could treat you all. In this video, you'll see by the thumbnail, you see by the title, we're going to be talking about Giovani Lo Celso and the MLS interest in him. We're going to be talking about a former manager in the hunt potentially to sign Sergio Reguilon. We're talking about three youngsters that are expected to go out on loan. We're talking about Skipp having interest from a different team in the Premier League, and much, much more. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, give us a subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. It's an action-packed one. It's an outgoing video. It's not like he's at the pub or something, but you know, it's a video centered around players leaving Spurs. So obviously, still something that we need to work on with requirements for different competitions needing to be met. This is a video that's going to play into it in a good way, potentially in a bad way. You'll see what I mean. But we'll jump in. Afternoon Spurs. Afternoon, Dan. It is a late one. Apologies. Afternoon, Christian. How are we all? Let's jump in. Let's talk Giovani Lo Celso. So yesterday, we were talking about Miguel Almiron to Charlotte FC. So it came out this morning, probably about 2 hours ago, that Charlotte FC have left negotiations for Miguel Almiron. The deal has collapsed and now off. There's been no agreement, as apparently Newcastle wanted too much, right? Well, the Mail Sport put out yesterday that MLS side Charlotte FC have made an inquiry for Spurs midfielder Giovani Lo Celso. Obviously, his contract runs out next summer, and we already know that Ange supposedly isn't looking to depend on him next season going forward. So, you know, I think we can all agree he's probably too good for the MLS. He might even be one of the best players in the MLS now. But again, it's one of those things. If Spurs get fair value, they don't care where they're sending him, do they? Let's be honest. You don't as a selling team. I still don't see him going to the MLS. I just think he's in his sort of mid to late 20s. He's a bit young. He's not a pensioner in football terms. I think I still see him going to the La Liga. You know, obviously we know Betis are interested. We know Aston Villa are interested. But for me, I still see him going to La Liga. I still think there's probably a few La Liga teams that are sniffing around him. You know, when I talked about an update on Lo Celso yesterday, I was talking about the fact that he does have more than just those two clubs of interest, which is Betis and Villa. He has more than those two. So, you know, when we look at it, Spurs will get some money out of this deal. You know, what they'll get is debatable. How they'll get it is debatable, but they will be moving off of Lo Celso. Lo Celso is expected to leave. We can all sort of put our hats on that, base our hats on that. Moving over to a little bit of Sergio Reguilon news. So AS have said that Jose Mourinho has requested Fenerbahce board to sign Sergio Reguilon. Fenerbahce will face competition from Barcelona and Galatasaray to sign the player. Now, hey, they're all European sides. So, you know, when Reguilon says, I want to move to a European side, tick. You know, Galatasaray and Fenerbahce, I couldn't tell you last time they weren't in Europe. Obviously, Mourinho, if he wants to do us a favour, you know, do us a favour and take Sergio Reguilon off our hands. And I can see him at all of those clubs. Now, obviously, he'll be holding out for Barcelona because it's going back home. It's a massive club. But I don't think Spurs are going to be holding out for them. You know, they can't even register Dani Olmo, right? And that's the priority, is registering Dani Olmo. They're still talking about how they want Nico Williams. And it's like, yeah. And I want to be 6'7". And I'm more likely to be 6'7" than you registering multiple players this window, right? And I'm not 6'7". My height doesn't even begin with a 6. So you know that's how far off I am. With the Sergio Reguilon stuff, let's be honest. If Spurs get an all right offer from Turkey, they're accepting it and they're going, what do you want us to do? We're not going to wait around to the 31st of August for Barcelona just for them to go, actually, we can't register him, we can't get him. They're not going to do it. You know, they still need to clear players out of their squad to fit in Dani Olmo. You know, that's why I keep talking about Rafinha. That's why I keep talking. I mean, Sergio Roberto's just left, and I did see that there was links with Spurs, but Spurs aren't going near there. Nor would I want Spurs to go there, to be honest. That would be a really weird move. But if I'm honest, Sergio, I think they'll take Turkish money absolutely every day of the week, and There is a little bit of money in Turkey. It's not maybe what everyone used to remember when Schneider and Drogba and all that lot went to Galatasaray, but there's still a little bit of money, and they can still afford him. They can afford him, So let's do that. Hey, Bazza, afternoon, Sonia. I think that's Marshall. I'm good, Gons. How are you, mate? That won't happen. Gio might be good in the MLS. He'd smoke the MLS. He'd smoke the MLS. So there's that on Sergio Reguilon. Talking about the boys going out on loan, Dan Kilpatrick saying that Spurs are expected to loan out Alfie Devine, Ashley Phillips, and Jamie Donnelly before the end of the month. Mikey Moore will remain as part of the squad this season, which that's to be expected. We all knew Mikey was going to be around the first team this season. Obviously, I'm not shocked with some of these loan moves. Obviously, Spurs are still looking at midfielders to bring in this summer. We know that. Obviously, you are moving Devine and Donnelly out on loan. And you know what? I don't mind it. Right. Now, don't get me wrong. I really like Jamie Donnelly. That's the guy that I've really liked for a while. But if you can sit there and say they're going to get regular minutes in the Championship or, in Ashley Phillips' sake, in La Liga for Getafe, I'm not saying he would go there, but we know about that link. They're going to get regular minutes. They're going to improve. I don't hate it. If they're not going to be playing any regular minutes at Spurs and they're just going to be in and around on the bench the whole season, get them out on loan, get a year's development in them, especially like, your Jamie Donnellys and your Devines, maybe they're going on loan to the Championship. That could massively speed up their progression instead of playing in the under 21s. If they're going to a decent Championship side, like Dane Scarlett went to Oxford, no issues there. I'd like that quite a bit, if I'm honest. So there we are. Hey, the dude. I'm good, mate. How are you? What's new about Eze? Possible, but still extremely unlikely. You think we could get a third? Do you mean 3 more signings or 1 more signing to make it a third? Because technically Spurs have signed more than 3. Technically. So there's that on the boys going out on loan. Want to talk about the interest in Oliver Skipp, because it does actually play a part in us straight away early on this season. In the Prem, you mean? Yeah, it's not a bad shout. Hey, Percival, you're right. Cherky news. I think didn't Cherky go to like Dortmund or something? And Gallagher, they're still trying to find a solution in the situation with Atletico. Who's sign as right wing? We're not going to go Bakayoko, Madzi. Come on, Madzi, you've been on Twitter. You know what Bakayoko's quotes came out and looked like. Ange, that's not Angeable. That's not a player that, Ange would like in terms of his attitude. It'd probably be like Rafinha, maybe. That's probably who the most likely shout is right now. No, that Dortmund transfer collapse. Oh, you learn something new every day. Right, moving Skippy. So, obviously, we play Monday night, and for players to be included in squads for this weekend's football, I think it's Friday at 12 p.m., which it's just under 2 days now. Okay, it's 12:13, which, by the way, it's the same thing for the Fantasy Football League, which I think we've got just over 50 people in there now because Terry, with his Ange management, I like it, he joined. So I think we've got 50 people in the Fantasy Football League this year, which is pretty damn cool. Some really good names, by the way. Really good names in there, which shout out everyone that has joined. When we talk about that, Oscar's here. My guy. How are you, Oscar, mate? You're right. That's massively out of context, bro. He was referring to Brentford and said he wanted a club that challenged for the UCL. Yeah, but he said, I'm not moving to mid-table team. I'm only moving to the Champions League. That's my issue with that. How do you feel about Almiron, his deal? I talked about it at the start. Come and go. As Spurs fan, I think we'll have another trivia season, but get quite a bit closer. Well, let's see. Josh, back to work. That's fine. I'm not on long today because I've got something to do straight after this. Hey, Mark, how are you? So let's talk the Oliver Skipp. So Leicester City are leading the race to sign Oliver Skipp. Now, obviously, we play Leicester on Monday night, 8 o'clock kickoff. We're there Monday night. We play them. Activating and including players into your squad for the weekend is Friday at 12. I'm pretty sure it's Friday at 12. Don't hold me exactly to that, but it's in and around that time. Spurs obviously are not going to want to sell Oliver Skipp before then. They're not helping Leicester City out when we play Leicester City Monday, if you get what I mean, right? So yeah, I can still see him going, but obviously that has to be a situation where Spurs need to get really good value out of it. Spurs aren't going to move Oliver Skipp on for 10 million when he actually plays a massive part in our European squad. So yeah, they're going to have to stump up well above 20 million. If McTominay's getting bidded for around 20 million and United are looking out for more, if Fabio Carvalho's gone for 27.5 million and he's not prem proven really, I'm wanting at least 20 million for Oliver Skipp now, at least 20. Saw something about how he wanted him also. Well, that's from Poseidon, wasn't it? Joshua as well. You talked about him. Yeah, that's from Poseidon. He said that he's checking on the Hermoso situation. Skinkwick's pivot. That's what we used to have, mate, as our pivot back in the day. That's what we had as our pivot. That is horrific, isn't it? But supposedly Spurs are looking to move on from Skippy as well, which is interesting because I don't think they're looking to move him on as such. I think what they're trying to look at is getting as much value out as possible, replacing him with, someone that they truly like. I think they're going to go into the European season with 23, 24 players in their squad. If you buy Kyle Walker-Peters, then obviously that's an extra one you can have in the squad. I think they're going to rock in with that, to be honest. I don't think Spurs are going to have a full European squad, which, it's not ideal, but these things happen and we move on. Obviously in January, you can maybe affect some of the squads and things like that. You never know. The world works in mysterious ways, but I think that's what they want to do. I don't think they want to move on Skipp for the sake of moving him on. There has to be a really good offer they can't refuse because of the European fixtures and the squad sizes and all those things that play a boring part in it all, but that's the way it is. Too many players have gone out. Not enough, Dino. We still need to move off of Reguilon. We still need to move off of Lo Celso, potentially Solomon as well. We still need to move off of players. It's not just that. We haven't finished yet. We've still got a lot to do on the outgoing side of things. So we'll see on Skippy because it's a difficult one. As much as Spurs would want to cash in and make their money, it has to be really worth it, to be honest, because right now it's not. But we shall see on that. I really like Solanke sign. I think getting Brennan some competition on the right wing. Yeah, absolutely. Skipp is the closest thing we have to a number 6. Yeah, well, he might be closest to number 6, but he wouldn't be in my top 3 for number 6. Yeah, he wouldn't be in my top 3 for a number 6. Mental, isn't it? But yeah, we shall see. Well, it's a lot, Mads. Marshall, we're not going to get all that, mate. Benter, Biss, and Gray. Yeah, I'd agree, Madsy. That was the 3 that I was thinking of. Skippy would probably be my 4th there. I don't put Bergval in there just yet. I don't think Bergval is able to take off the back 4, yeah, but, actually do the 6 role. I don't see Bergval yet doing that. I think Bergval starts as the 8, substitutes on as the 10 sometimes as well, and for the 8, because I think Sarr will start the season. Sarr gets a lot of disrespect from Spurs fans. Like last season, he was the best thing since sliced bread, and now he's not the new toy. We don't want to play with him anymore. It's mental. Sarr's still, young. He's still one of our exciting youngsters. But we shall see. But anyway, guys, then thank you very much. Obviously, a short one, I know. Thank you very much for watching. Obviously, I'll be back later to talk some more Spurs and more transfers, and hopefully we get some more updates as well to go with it. Obviously, enjoy the rest of your afternoons, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. See you later. Ciao.